Skeptics Review, the Bible, by John Smith. So before we begin our Bible lesson, a couple things. First of all, I just recently rewatched The 10 Commandments on Netflix. I say rewatched because I was probably so young, if and when I saw it the first time, that I don't remember a damn thing from it. I gotta say, throughout the entire movie I kept thinking, that's not in the Bible, that's not in the Bible, no, that's not in the Bible, over and over again. I love at the very beginning where they invoke Josephus and Eurebus, who, admittedly, I haven't read very much of, so possibly it's in there. Secondly, I have to apologize. I didn't get the facts straight in my last Exodus video. Let it be said that John Smith totally admits when he's wrong. See, I went to all these apologist websites, and they quite clearly explained to me that the first set of 10 Commandments back in Exodus 20 are in fact the real 10 Commandments, or Decalogue, as it is sometimes called. The 10 Commandments in Exodus 34 are merely a ritual Decalogue, not an ethical Decalogue. Stupid atheists. You Christians have totally figured out our secret plan. Us soulless unbelievers don't need to prove ourselves right in order to win an argument with you guys. We just have to put a tiny chink of doubt into your faithful Christian armor, and then we win. You've cracked our totally super secret plan for world domination. Okay, so the original 10 Commandments are the 10 Commandments. Fine. Explain to me again why we still need them in front of courtrooms and government buildings. Exodus 35. It's best if I warn you guys right now. The next few chapters are a lot of what I will call expository dialogue, information dump kind of text. I hope you've all had your fiber. It's going to take a mighty strong constitution to get through this. So I'm assuming Moses was still glowing like a giant lightning bug, so he called all the people together that he hadn't ordered killed in a cold and calculated way from the last time, remember? And he told them, Lord Yahweh says, you can't work on the Sabbath day. Don't even start a fire or pick up sticks. So I'm imagining that the people took whiny but completely psychotic Moses pretty seriously at that point. Let's hope so anyway. Next, Moses said, the omnipotent Lord Yahweh said, you need to bring him all your material stuff and loot. Lord Yahweh gave me a grocery list of things. I will post the grocery list outside of the tent. If you have any of those things on the grocery list, Lord Yahweh said, you can bring those things if you wish. I wouldn't say no, though, if I were you. Also, even though Lord Yahweh could totally just blink his eyes or snap his fingers or whatever and make all of this stuff himself, Lord Yahweh has made some of you guys talented enough to make the stuff yourselves for Lord Yahweh. If you have been given talent by Lord Yahweh to make stuff, then you should come to my tent and start making stuff. We need candlesticks and covenant boxes and altars, tents, and a jewel shirt for my brother Aaron. It's all on the list. So all of the people went to their tents, got the stuff on Moses' grocery list, and brought it back. They must have really taken a lot of stuff from those Egyptians before they left. Remember, they don't have gold earrings anymore because they made the golden calf out of those, and Moses melted them down, made them all drink it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so far they've only encountered the Amalekites, so they really haven't battled a whole lot of other people yet to get more stuff, at least as far as I remember. So they brought all their loot, they brought fabrics, anointing oils, and sweet-smelling incense. Then Moses' information dumped to the people some more by telling them that Lord Yahweh imbued these two special guys, Bezalel and Oholiab, with making stuff superpowers. And so these two dudes rolled up their sleeves and started making stuff. Exodus 36. So while Bezalel and Oholiab were making all this stuff, and joined by other people that Lord Yahweh had given superpowers and making stuff talents, the people just kept bringing Moses more and more of their loot. So Moses Finally told them that they had enough loot to make all this special stuff that Lord Yahweh wanted that he couldn't or didn't want to just poof into existence himself. Next, the infallible, divinely inspired holy book goes into so much detail about the stuff that the super making stuff dudes were making. It's totally fabulous and riveting. I loved it. It was better than Cats. I'm going to read this chapter again and again. Okay, seriously. So, in one of my earlier chapters, somebody suggested I do an attempt at a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and I've never actually watched that show, so I had to go watch a YouTube video about it. I'll do my very best impression. Moses called Bezalel and Oholiab, and all the other skilled men to whom the Lord had given abilities and who were willing to help. Let's give Lord Yahweh the tent he deserves. That's fantastic, don't you think? So all of these skilled men, they were very skilled, they went about their sweaty work. That sounds good. So first the Lord's men were making the special tent. They made it out of 10 pieces of fine linen, woven with blue, purple, and red wool, that's manly, and embroidered it with figures of winged creatures. Then they made loops of blue cloth on the edges of the outside piece in each set. They put 50 loops on the first piece of the first set, and 50 loops matching them on the last piece, because you have to have a matching set. You just have to. So they kept working on this tent, and it was very manly. It was made of goat's hair that they colored different colors, and there's all sorts of bronze and gold hooks. And when they made the frames of acacia wood or shittim wood for the tent, they made 40 bases, and they all had silver on the bottom, because why not? And then they had gold rings for all of the crossbars, which were also covered with gold, and curtains of fine linen, woven with blue and purple and red wool. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's go to the next chapter and see how this all ends. Exodus, chapter 37. I really wanted to do that. So they moved on to making the covenant box out of acacia or shittim wood. They covered it with pure gold, and they basically followed all of the very explicit instructions in earlier chapters that Lord Yahweh had given to Moses, and hopefully Moses had done a really good job of chiseling or writing down. So Bezalel spent a long time making the Ark of the Covenant, made the box, he made the cover, he made the carrying poles, he made the 2 angels that face themselves, and their wings outstretched over the top. Then he made a table out of acacia or shittim wood, and he covered it with pure gold, of course. And then he made a whole set of gold dishes, plates and cups and jars and bowls, etc. Next he made the lampstand out of pure gold, of course. He had to hammer it into shape, and it had lots of flower and bud and petal designs on it. The thing ended up weighing about 70 pounds. Finally, he made an altar out of acacia or shittim wood for burning incense. Remember, that's the one Aaron wasn't supposed to do animal sacrifices on. So he put a gold border on it, made 2 gold carrying rings for it, and he made the poles of acacia and shittim wood, covered with gold. And finally, he made some sweet swelling incense for it.